Hey YouTube, welcome back to Dwayne's World. So is today Christmas? Because it feels like Christmas, even though it's not Christmas, we got some unboxing to do. You want to find out what I'm going to unbox? You better stay tuned. Oh man, look at all that cleanup. Got a lot of leaves I got to take care of. But this is what a rotary mower is for. You know, rotary mower, for me at least, does an awesome job cleaning everything up. So definitely going to have to take care of that. So did you guys take advantage of the Black Friday deals or Cyber Monday deals? Well, I'll be honest with you. When I first started looking, just, you know, at any variety of items, there was nothing specific I was looking for. I didn't see very much. And I thought, you know what, that's okay. Don't really need anything right now. But at the same time, on Sunday of that Black Friday weekend, I was on Facebook and somebody posted an item on Amazon that I was very excited about. So I go on Amazon, I take a look, and sure enough, there's an item on there that I've never seen advertised at the price it was. So what am I talking about? Well, the item I'm talking about is an item that I've seen all over YouTube, an item that probably your neighbor doesn't have, that most true lawn enthusiasts have, that everybody wants, but have a hefty price tag. And that is some rotary scissors. Yes, definitely decided to pick them up. And the reason why I chose to pick them up was because they were probably about $70 to $100 cheaper than I've seen advertised recently. So they're a hair over $200. But even back when I was looking at them and they were a little more expensive, I also knew that I wanted to adapt them to my Ego trimmer. I didn't want to give up my Ego trimmer though, the traditional trimmer. And I already had an edger, so that wasn't an issue. But the reason why I didn't want to give up my trimmer is because even though these things work phenomenally from what I've seen and heard, they don't replace 100% the use of a trimmer. There are going to be times where you do need a trimmer, and I didn't want to give that up. It's always a good idea to have a good trimmer whenever you're doing lawn care. So with that, I also knew that I would need to buy another Ego trimmer attachment in order to make these rotary scissors work. So I went and saw how much those cost. And sure enough, those were on sale too. Normally they go for about $130 and they were on sale for $99. So here was a case where I was able to pick up the set for about 300 bucks, a little over 300 bucks before tax, as were in the past. It would have been closer to $430 to $460 before tax. So kind of thought, you know, that's too good of a savings. I don't want to pass this up. And Amazon enticed me because it said only one left for shipping. So I figured, you know what, I better jump on it, and I did that. So they showed up. It took a while though, for some reason. I don't know. Amazon obviously is swamped right now this time of year. My Ego trimmer showed up right away within the day or two. But the rotary scissors took probably about 4 or 5 days. And which even tops it off, takes it to another level. I was livid. The mailman delivered it to my neighbor. Yes, that's right, my neighbor. So thank goodness I have an honest neighbor, a good relationship. He doesn't even know, he's not into lawn care, so you know, he didn't even know what he was looking at when he you know, picked up the box. He dropped it off the following morning or that day and said, hey, you know, the mailman delivered this to the wrong address. So definitely got to have good neighbors, right? So always remember who you live next to before you start that argument. So with this video, with the rotary scissors, I'm going to go ahead and just show you guys how to put them together. I'm going to unbox both the rotary scissors and the Ego product, just so you guys can see what you're getting. And then from there, we'll go ahead and put them together so you guys know how to assemble them if you decide to purchase the same setup I have. And with that, let's get to the assembly. All right, so what you guys are looking at here is the 15-inch string trimmer attachment by Ego. Going to go ahead and use that, but like I mentioned, we are converting that to the rotary scissors. Very, very exciting. So within the rotary scissor box here, you have your instruction manual. You have an adapter or a mounting kit that allows you to be able to adapt it to whatever string trimmer that you have. It will work with most models. All right, and last but not least, we have our rotary scissors here. Looks like a little protective guard here that comes on the outside. We'll go ahead and get all this unboxed here, and I'll show you how to put it together. All right, so let me just show you what I have here. I'm not going to necessarily need everything that you see on the table here. I won't use any of the tools. We will not be using the grass shield. Pretty much the main thing that I want is I really just want this shaft. That's really what I'm after when it comes to the Ego trimmer here. Seems like somewhat of a waste because obviously it's a perfectly good head unit on the trimmer, but I'll keep that as a backup just in case. You never know if you're going to need to switch your back or you want to, change your setup. So I'll go ahead and save all the parts so that way in the future, if I ever decide to reuse them, I'll be able to do that. And with that, let's go ahead and start the assembly process. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and try to remove the head unit here. Shouldn't be too difficult. It looks like it's just held in a couple of these Allen screws. I'm going to go ahead and use my impact wrench to make it a little bit quicker. So go ahead and start removing those. All right. You can see here, it looks like it's loaded with grease, which I guess is a good thing. So your two main screws obviously clamp it down. This last smaller screw is more of a set screw that basically is what's holding the entire unit together. But I will go ahead and save all these parts here, like I mentioned, just in case I ever need to reuse them. I'll be able to do that in the future. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab my adapter pieces here, and we'll see which one fits the Ego product. All right, so after going through each of these to see which one will fit, it looks like it's the one marked 7-7 will be the one that we're going to use to be able to adapt it to the rotary scissors. When you're looking at this adapter, the big end here, or the side that has this flange, you want that to go on the inner side of the shaft. All right, so I do want to point something out before we go ahead and continue moving forward with the installation here. But if you look here, there's a hole. The hole is meant for a set screw where the original head trimmer unit had screwed into. As you guys can see here, on the top of the old trimmer unit, you have your set screw there, and that goes all the way through on the top of the shaft. However, on the rotary scissors, it's not located on the top, it's located on the side. So at first I thought, well, you know what, maybe I can go ahead and just run this at 90 degrees here, and it'll be fine. However, when you turn this 90 degrees, you're turning your entire trimmer 90 degrees, because at the top portion of the trimmer, this has to line up properly. You cannot set this into the trimmer head unit on a side axis. It needs to be set so it goes in straight. And what that would cause it to do is either your rotary scissors are going to be turned on its side or your head unit's going to be turned on its side, and I don't want to do that. So when doing my research and kind of just looking at how other people have done it, it appears a lot of people just go ahead and set their set screw into the side of the unit here and do not use the existing hole. So we're going to go ahead and give that a try, because I think that's a much better option than trying to run this thing at 90 degrees. The other thing I want to talk about are these sleeves that are included with your rotary head scissors. If you look here on the side, there's a marking, and their markings are 25 millimeter, you have a 24 millimeter, and you have a 25.4 millimeter adapter. The one that we're going to use, it just happens to be that the Ego trimmer unit, based on the research I did, shows at 25 millimeters. So we're going to go ahead and use that one, which is right here, and we're going to go ahead and install this into the rotary scissors first before we go ahead and install the shaft. Now when installing this, you want to ensure that the open side is facing up, so we'll go ahead and do that. A little bit of a tight squeeze in there. Yep, but we are good there now. So now that I got my adapter piece here, I'm going to go ahead and just slide this into the unit here. All right, took a little bit of persuasion. I went ahead and just tapped it on the back ever so slightly in order to get it to go down fully seated. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just tighten down the screws here, and we will be good to go. All right, so the other thing I'm going to do really quick just before I start it up, I'm going to go ahead and remove these two screws here. These are service ports where you're going to go ahead and service your rotary scissors by adding grease. I just want to make sure there's grease in there before I go ahead and fire this thing up, just to ensure we're in good shape. And I think we're good. I don't know if you guys can see that. Probably not. But I could tell that we are definitely, there is grease in there. I'm not going to go ahead and add any more. It looks like it's pretty good. Looks like a white grease that they used in there, so it's a little bit harder to see on camera. But I think we're in good shape now, so I know that these are going to be okay. And we'll go ahead and check that. I don't know the service interval. I'll have to do some research on it. My guess is that probably, you know, maybe once a month during the growing season is probably what we want to go with. I'm going to go ahead and just tighten it down here. I did use my impact to go ahead and loosen them, but whenever I go ahead and tighten down things like this, I like to go ahead and use a manual way of doing it, just so I make sure I do not over tighten these or strip these out is my main concern. All right, and with that, let me go ahead and grab my head unit and battery. Definitely loud, definitely loud. All right, so I know you guys want to see those rotary scissors in action, and trust me, I want to use them as bad as you want to see them. But you're going to have to wait till my next video to see those rotary scissors in action. Now, one of the things I did do is I did also create an email address for my channel, which is DwaynesWorldLawn. I'll go ahead and post it up on the screen here, DwaynesWorldLawn@gmail.com. So if you want to email me any questions, comments, concerns, future video suggestions, or just show me what you're working on, show me your lawn, I'd love to see it. And with that, as always, be excellent and party on.